Hello, everyone. Welcome to the April Q&R, I think. All right. I know it always takes everybody a little bit of time to get in here. So even though it's a boring way to start a video, I'm going to give everyone a few seconds to get in here. Actually, I'm going to ramble about a few housekeeping details. We have some cool stuff coming up. So I'll start with that, and if you miss it later, you can come back and watch that part. So we have a giveaway on the signed pages doing for a sweatshirt and an ARC. You can find that under their news tab and poke around, or I think Caps Lock will be posting that in the comments section. All right. Oh, hi, Kayla. And next, I'll be doing a Reddit. So if I don't get to your question today, and you've been waiting for months, and I just have not answered your question, you can jump in on the Reddit AMA that I will be doing on our fantasy on Thursday, 420. And I'm sure we'll get some 420 jokes on that one. Wow, how'd we pick that date? I don't know. Wasn't thinking. And then, of course, we have coming up very soon my book release and book tour. Oh, hi there, Sean. That begins on the 25th at Powell's Cedar Hills, where I always love to launch my books. I'll be giving a talk. It's not coming together. It is totally kicking my butt. I have page after page. I'm going to do that quickly of notes that are just not working out. I probably shouldn't have slammed my mouse. That could have gone poorly, especially since the mouse was right next to the end live video button. Looks like we're still going, so I haven't destroyed anything yet. So I'm starting at Powell's Cedar Hills, and I'll be doing a virtual event for everybody who can't make it to my other events with the signed page, where I will be also signing many, I hope, many copies of books for people around the world. And that should be pretty fun. And then I'm going up to University Books, my friends at University Books in Seattle on the 27th. Then I'll go down to Mysterious Galaxy in San Diego, a new location for me. I haven't been to that location yet, but Mysterious Galaxy has always been one of my most enthusiastic audiences, so I hope to see you guys there. Tattered Cover in Littleton will be a new bookstore for me. I've done numerous signings at different Tattered Cover locations throughout the Denver area, and it just sort of, they're a very busy bookstore, and sort of depends on what is open and who else is in town. So I'll have to see who's at the downtown store that day. They actually don't look. They might be more interesting than I am. So Littleton, Colorado, Tattered Cover, and then I'll be wrapping up the tour with a visit to Joseph Beth in Cincinnati on the 30th. That was one that really surprised me. When the first time I went out there, I expected no crowd at all. It was the end of quite a long tour, and there was a lot going on that day. We went up there, and
Oktoberfest.
there was all sorts of interesting things going on in town, and I was just like, okay, we'll have like 10 people. It will be very intimate, and
a baseball game.
Yes, yeah. And we had an amazing store there. Really great staff at both locations I've been to. Really have had a good time. So that will be our last signing event. Then I have something to announce for you guys today that I think you'll think is fun. I have had the distinct privilege of working with Simon Vance on now all of my audiobooks. He has re-recorded some of the Night Angel books, and he recently has finished Night Angel Nemesis. And Simon's agreed to meet with me in a live event for us to talk about how we make audiobooks and how he approaches it. And I'm going to ask him some questions, and I think we'll have a moderator. My editor, Bradley, is going to moderate, and I think it'll be really fun. I mean, I know that I can have a great time talking with Simon Vance anytime. He's wonderful to talk to. He's very smart. He's done everything, and he's a great guy. So I hope I listen a lot more than I speak, because that's far more interesting. Plus, he's got such a great voice. Could listen to him read the phone book. So Simon Vance, I'm going to be speaking with on the 3rd of May at, I think we're doing that at 11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Details to come. We were trying to do that so that the Europeans there would, and people further afield would have a chance to be able to see that. So in the UK and elsewhere, that's going to be on May 3rd at 11 a.m. Pacific Time. And then we have the Orbit Crowdcast Spoiler Book Club on Tuesday the 16th. So after you've read it and you want to ask some spoilery kind of questions, spoilery up through the end, of course, of Nemesis, not beyond. I'm going to try not to give away anything from beyond that. So that's what's coming up on the horizon. I hope you guys are excited. And now, and then one last thing, I have got some boxes. Some boxes arrived at my house, and I'm excited to see what's in those. I think that might be an unboxing video. We'll do it at the very end. So we're going to be doing that in about 22 minutes from now. We'll be opening that up, and we're going to end up wrapping this thing up in about a half an hour. You know how good I am with deadlines, so probably more like 32 minutes. Today we're doing an audiobook token and ARC giveaway. The way for you to... We don't have a great way to just give it away 100% randomly to just everybody who's in the room. So just if you'll just leave a comment, it can be your question, or it can just be like here or hi. Just that easy. We're not trying to like mess with the algorithm. We just want to give away some cool stuff. So that'll be Melanie. Remind me of what the giveaway is. What are the tokens? What I said an ARC, and then the audiobook. Are we giving? Are we giving away 3? Like how many are we giving away? Or like packages of 3? Like if you win
packages of 3.
Okay, and just 1 package of 3?
Maybe 5.
5 packages of 3?
Maybe.
Oh, okay, all right. So we'll see. And I accidentally leaked Caps Lock's name. So nobody's gonna rewind and find that out. So that's okay. It's okay. Nobody knows your secret is safe. All right, I think that's all I made it through my checklist, and it only took me 7 minutes, which is pretty bad. But here we go. I am ready to answer some questions, and I think my darling bride is going to throw those toward me.
Okay. This is from Lauren. As an author, what do you consider to be your greatest strength? And if you feel comfortable talking about it, what is your greatest weakness?
Oh man!
Just as an author, though.
Just as an author, what is my greatest strength? I can type. Yeah, I think that's it. I think out of all the things I can do, typing is really the thing I do best. Without that, I'd be in dire straits. My greatest weakness. Let's see. Man, there are just some words I can't spell right, regardless of how many times I spell them, regardless of the little squiggly lines underneath. Although I actually turn off the squiggly lines underneath the words because I make up so many things. It's very distracting. And then, you can only, it seems like every time you add them to the dictionary, then you switch to a new computer and they're not in the dictionary anymore. And believe me, after writing for 20 some years in a world, you've made up a lot of stuff. It's kind of crazy the amount of things I make you guys remember. Okay, that's that.
So your greatest strength is typing and your greatest weakness is spelling?
Damn it.
Just recapping.
Those were horrible answers, weren't they?
Well, they're responses, I guess.
Horrible responses. Yeah, that's true. It is Q and R, not Q and A. My greatest strength, probably, since I guess I'm being forced to be serious here, I think my character work is probably my greatest strength. I like to think I have a couple of fastballs in there, but I really like the depth of my characters. And my greatest weakness is... I've got a lot, so there's a lot of ties. I don't love working on maps. We'll. Oh God, yes. Thanks. This is like rubbing salt in wounds. Descriptions. Figuring out how to do descriptions that aren't boring, that are artful and brief. I frequently will get the conflict within a scene, the emotional timbre between two characters. I will have a lot of good information revealed through the scene. We'll see some character growth. We'll see all this stuff, and then I'll realize the characters are just two talking heads in a blank fog. They're nowhere. They're just having this great argument, and with great dialogue, and it's all great. It's wonderful and everything. But then I go back to these writing lessons that I already know, where things like, oh yeah, where characters have a conflict can affect how they have that conflict. A tense standoff with your best buddy is different on, say, his wedding day than it would be in a dark alley outside, a pub, and there's four of the guys who are standing there waiting to beat you up. Like both of those, the environment is going to affect how you have that conflict, and I try to bring that in and be like, what's the most interesting place that we can have this conflict? Or if I need to focus it, then maybe sometimes I will have less detail of the room, of the environment. So that's what's really nice about writing. It's an iterative process. I can go through, I can get a few things right. I can say that's worth keeping. Everything else I've got to throw out, versus, say, a live chat where just everybody sees it, flaws and all, when I say typing is my greatest strength and spelling is my greatest flaw. I'm actually a pretty good speller. I don't know. I just blanked on that question. What am I going to say? Okay, next question. Moving on.
That was great.
Okay, great.
Good recovery.
Yeah. Good recovery. Thanks.
Okay. Thomas Huffman.
Wait, where? There we go. Do good work.
Asks,
yes.
If you had to take on one of the abilities you've created for your characters, what / who would it be?
Not a set. I can't cheat and say Kyler's got some nifty abilities at this point. Be nice to have a few of those. I think. Well, how many spoilers am I going to pack in here for my own series? But probably Kyler's core deal, his main thing that he does. I think that would be very nice. It'd be nice to have an expansive life and time to do all sorts of. My wife's looking at me like she doesn't know what Kyler's core deal is here. I'm kind of trying to talk around the thing.
Part, and I was like, that's not super applicable to our life. But
yeah, you don't know where I go when I'm going to the grocery store. You don't know. It's I have my people cover. I'm actually a deep cover agent, and my wife wonders if I wander off to Eastern Europe, which Travis has had a question about. The guy who gives me my ideas in Bulgaria, no, I can't give his identity because I'm paying him scandalous amounts of money for those ideas, and I'm not going to say whether that's scandalously low or scandalously high amounts of money. You can just judge from what you know of me and my innate generosity to guess that. But good question. Next question.
Okay. This is from Sean Kane. What would Durzo think about our modern era social media driven society?
Not a whole lot. Yeah, I don't know that Durzo would have a Twitter account. Let's just say. He might be really into Discord though, for some reason, Sean. That was a hook for something later, but we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that some other time.
Was it hard? Okay, this is from Gary.
Oh man, I'm reading the comments as they're scrolling past, and I'm supposed to like maximize the window because they're making me laugh and get totally distracted. Someone just said Kyler's core is great. He's got really rock hard abs, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm losing it. Okay, sorry. Focus.
You could have rock hard abs. That'd be fine.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. Wow. I'm done. Look how red I am. Thanks, Caps Lock.
That's what you get for
Yeah, that's Melanie. That's Melanie over there. I can tell you where she lives too, and her former employer. So, okay, all right. Let's.
Okay, ready for it? Okay,
I'm ready for the next one.
Serious.
Yeah, serious.
Okay, Gary Ryan Tackett. Was it hard to get back into writing in the Night Angel world after writing in Lightbringer for so long?
Oh, okay. Great question. I didn't know how that would be. I was a little nervous, actually. And then one day I started a scene. I was just like, okay, let's see. I know what these characters need to do. I don't know when they're going to have this conversation, but I know that these two need to talk about something. And so I put two characters in a room. Again, I didn't really worry about which room it was. And one of the characters was Mama Kay, and it was like, boom, she was there. She has taken up a permanent little room in my head, and writing her again was just beautiful. It was like meeting an old friend. So that was very enjoyable for me. Most of the characters I was able to find very, very quickly. Picking up some of the details and making sure that I wasn't conflating events. Like there's times I was worried, okay, did I do that in some weird far off corner of this world, or was that a thing I made up for some weird far off corner of, the Seven Satrapies? And so I'd have to track things down, or things that I thought I'd left some breadcrumbs, some future world building that I had always intended to pick up on. I'd be like, did I actually say that? I better make sure that survived through the various drafts, because of course the draft that you all have read, or if you have read of the Night Angel books, is like, that wasn't the first draft, right? So sometimes I've invented things, I've made things up, and then I cut them, sometimes very late in the editorial process, and then I go looking for them, and it's like, it's not there anymore. Why isn't it there? So sometimes I had to go check for things. Certainly I had minutia, details, names, dates, things that I had to check were correct, and so I had to go back through the books. I reread the books again, and that was kind of fun. I tend to, you didn't ask this, but I tend to always think of my work as having been worse than it was. So I'm like, oh man, I was like 25 when I wrote this. This is going to be so bad, and then sometimes I really surprise myself. I go, yeah, that wasn't so bad. That was actually pretty good. I did a few things right in that book. So that always feels good when you realize it's better than you remembered it. So same reason I won't go back and watch my wedding video. I'm like, man, it's really nice in my memory. I just don't want to mess that up, because I probably did some awkward things or something, and it's just perfect in my memory, and my wife doesn't forgive me for that. Do you, dear? You have a different feeling about that?
Well, I haven't watched it by myself, so at least it's good that way.
So I'm depriving my wife of watching our wedding video. If I wait long enough, those VHS tapes will no longer work, or was it on 8mm? I don't know. It's been a while now. So, okay, next question.
Okay.
Quick, before I get into any more marital discord. Yes, I used the word discord on purpose there.
Okay, this is from
clever.
Dan. Where did you get the inspiration for Andros Guile?
Oh, that one's easy. So Andros is a 1-to-1 depiction of my brother, Kevin Weeks. Okay, Andros is a little bit older. That's the only difference. So, yeah, so I actually don't do that. I don't take characters that I know in real life and just put them directly into books. I heard some people do that. I sometimes take things that characters do, that people I know do, when they have an excellence. And one of the excellences Kevin always had and still has, except he doesn't use it very much anymore against us. He's gotten so much gentler in his adulthood, his young adulthood, I should say. Is Kevin would always win, and you would think that you had won, and you never won. And then if you ever did win, he knew some way to just take all the air out of it and be like, well, yeah. Oh, good job. You got straight A's in 7th grade. I could never do that, he would say. And you'd be like, dang it, I worked all quarter to get those straight A's. And he doesn't even care. So Kevin would always win, and I wanted to have a character who kind of always won and gave us that sense of frustration that it always seemed he was just one step ahead. the rest of the stuff of Andros being totally evil and wonderful at it, I also took from Kevin. So, yeah. No, Kevin's great. Kevin's great. Next question.
We do say that the Andros style voice is Kevin's voice, though.
Oh man, yeah. So sometimes when that was something that I realized I would do when I was, I have an Andros voice, but I'm never doing it publicly. So, and that would be very much, I would use my brother's intonation for that, which Christy would be like, you're doing the Andros voice. So, yeah.
We love you, Kevin.
Yeah. Kevin's not going to watch this. We're fine. We're fine. Don't hurt me, Kevin.
Okay, Hema Wright says, my favorite character is Dorian. God, I love him and his whole personality. How close were you to him as the author? And do you have anything to comment on him as a whole?
Oh, man. Oh, love Dorian. Dorian has been with me for a very long time. Dorian, I fleshed out Dorian. I think I started with Dorian. He showed up in the very first book I wrote in this world. So I think I probably made him up when I was 19 or 20 years old. So Dorian's been around for a long time. Obviously he was, I wrote a first book set in the Night Angel world that was set about 20 years into the future from the Night Angel trilogy. Wrote that book, wrote it, realized it was about 200,000 words long, which is unpublishably long for a first novel. And I realized I was at about the halfway point in that book. So it turns out I've been trying to write really long books for a really long time. And I also had made some other just structural errors, because it turns out writing a really big book is very challenging. Even writing a short book is very challenging and requires a lot of skills, some of which I didn't have when I was 20 years old. So Dorian was one of those characters that was part of that world. And I knew that I could use him. And I had decided that I was going to throw away a lot of the character work or a lot of the plot work that I did in that book, but I was going to rewind the world. I was going to take the most fascinating character that I had seen in that world, who'd sort of shown up for a brief period of time, and I was going to tell his story. Like, how did this weird guy turn into this person that I see here? And that was Kyler. I was like, well, I want to see how he became who he is here. So I rewound the clock, and I did that for all the characters. So one of those characters was Dorian. So I have been very close to Dorian for a long time. I really enjoyed pretty much every page that I got to spend with Dorian, and he does show up in this book. So Dorian's not done yet. He's a fun character to write. It was fun to do the stuff I did with him in book 3, in Beyond the Shadows. And in Shadow's Edge, sort of at the end there, I thought that was it was an enjoyable test for me as a writer to see when readers would disengage from Dorian, as Dorian was doing increasingly awful things. So I can talk about, I've talked about that before, but maybe not with you guys. I can talk about that some other time. But I love Dorian, and he's a fun character. He's a fun set of attributes to get to play with. Yeah. Next. How we doing on time? 4:23.
People are giving really great questions, so
okay.
I'm having a hard time choosing. So don't hate me if I didn't pick your question. I'm just reading through book 2 again. This is from Rob Johnson.
Okay.
Where the moment where Logan pardons Lily is so touching. What's your most touching part of the first 3 books? When did you cry writing?
When did I cry?
That was my little...
Oh, nice. Yeah. What was the most touching part? I'm trying to think. So some moments I don't cry during writing them, because like when I get there, it's like, this is what I made this character for. Like, they needed to do this thing. So every moment that I've written this character, so certain members of Logan's family have some things happen to them. And that was just like, that was always going to happen. Like, that was sort of in plot terms, like, that was why I made them up. and I'm trying not to do too many spoilers for people who haven't yet read the Night Angel books. So when there's a betrayal, and it's, I hope, kind of shocking for readers. That didn't move me at all. It was just like, yep, well, there we go. It's Tuesday. Other characters, it's been rougher on me when I have a character and I'm like, I would really love to save you, and I had a character that I wanted to save, in Beyond the Shadows, and I worked on that for like a year, and I just kept running into the problem of like, there's no way I can do this without this being incredibly cheesy, and without it being lame, and without it violating the logic of the story as I've set it up thus far. So I was like, I finally said, I just can't save this person. Like, she's got to go. And then everything fell neatly into place, and it was like, yep, that's what had to happen. And so that really sucked for me. Certainly writing Kyler finding out the cost of immortality was rough. Oh, writing Cruxer was real rough. Writing Gavin and finding out some stuff about his brother, that was rough. Iron Fist and his brother, that scene still moves me. When also one of the most technically difficult scenes I think I've ever written, in terms of the setup of that scene, and there's things going on that the character doesn't understand, and then there's a flashback, and it's like making all these things fit together, without the reader really getting caught up on like, where am I, when am I, like, just that you follow it and you're able to be part of the emotion of the scene without really realizing you've taken all these temporal jumps and who and where you're at and when, and making it just crystal clear to the reader, but without the strings being visible. So I feel really, that's one of my most proud scenes I've ever written. But still, when I read that scene, I still go straight to the emotion of that scene, and people finding out that their history isn't what they thought it was, and that they were reading something wrong, clearly always moves me. Next question. Last question.
One more, or you wanted?
One last question, if it's a short one. And then unboxing, maybe. Maybe it's just a box of tissues. I'm not sure. It'll be embarrassing. So.
Okay, you mentioned owning several collectibles that fill your house during the last Q&R. Do you have a favorite?
Let's see. What kind of collectibles was I talking about? I mean, you're not talking about my Legos, are you? Or my books. I've been getting nice books. Check this one out. Sorry. I haven't even pulled the plastic off this one yet. So this is Lord of the Rings. I realized like I didn't have a copy of this on my shelves, and I was like, that's ridiculous. I owe my job to this man, and also my passion to Tolkien. So I found out that there was this new one that had his illustrations in it in color, and I'm kind of like, I'm saving it until I can really appreciate it. So that's one of the collectibles I have. I have other collectibles like the sword. It's really hard to point to things that are behind you. That's up there. Let's see. This is going to be. Oh my God! I almost pushed the on/off button on my computer. That would have been. I have flirted with disaster numerous times here. So, do you see Grogu? Yes, you do. Yes, there's Grogu down there. Hold on. This thing really does not want to tilt for me. There's Grogu. There's just a few of the Legos I've been doing, alongside my treasured Green's Dictionary of Slang in 3 volumes, which it's a page turner. You guys, you don't know what good living is.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares about that. Oh, what? They care about my nerdy stuff. They do, I swear. Okay, I'm not sure how we're going to do this. I have a box. You can't see it because somehow I can't tilt my computer at the moment. So there's a box. I'm going to try not to show my address on screen because that would be embarrassing.
I tore the label off.
Okay. Oh, you did? You tore off the label?
Yes,
okay,
I did.
Okay, here we go. You guys. Oh, it feels nice. Oh, look at that. Look at that. And when I started this book, I said, you know what? I'm gonna write a short book. Dang it. That's not a short book. This is gorgeous. All right, let me get this out of here. Oh wow, that is a fat boy. Nice. Oh, it's beautiful. Feels nice in hand. Yeah, there we have it. I've written another one. You guys, I don't know. People said nice things about me. No way. I swear, some of those might be true, and I think we only offered bribes for like half, maybe. So, no, but yeah, that's amazing. Show them the tagline.
On the back, above Kyler.
On the back, above Kyler. On the front. Oh, okay. Sorry. Which you say tagline? I'm like, okay. Oh, look at that. Look at that. My name's Kyler Stern. Yeah. Nice. There's that. That is. Oh. Let's see. I got to see. Do you remember what page the fancy thing is on? This is on like page 57. So I did this thing. I had this stupid idea of having. Yeah. Here we go. It worked out. I was like, you know what? There's gonna be a handwritten page in here, and then this was way harder than you would dare imagine to get the fonts right, and to get the crossing out. I was like, no, that doesn't look right. It can't look mechanical. It's got to look like somebody actually crossed out the page after they were done writing it, and they did it for me. So they went above and beyond, getting all the little cool things set that I asked for. They were so good to me.
Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Lauren. Absolutely, and thank you, Bradley, and the whole team there at Orbit. So that's it. This is it's as thick as my head, you guys. That's pretty thick. So
Shall
yes.
I read the names of the people who...
Oh yes. We're gonna read the names, and then Caps Lock will tell you how to get in touch. So are we gonna message them? Can we message them?
We can message them.
We will Facebook message you. So take a look at your Facebook messages if you are any of these people. Just read them out, and we'll just listen.
Aaron Klitsky, Gary Ryan Tackett, Adam Gregory, Lila Longer, Kevin Lasley, Daniel Esteban Moore, Travis Caskey, Kayla Roberts, Hema Wright,
Nice.
Dan Miljovic, I don't know if I said that right or not, Thomas Huffman.
All right. So you guys apparently are big winners, and
Both 5 of you will get an Arc of Nemesis, and 5 of you will get audiobook tokens for the re-recording of the original trilogy.
all right, marvelous. Hope you guys enjoy. If you're any of those folks, check your inbox in the next day or so. Thanks for being here, and I look forward to seeing, I hope, many of you on tour or during my virtual event. Thanks so much. Have a great day.